This is the only case that made Crimfile TV air continuously for 3 days. And it was also a case where a nearly perfect crime was almost accomplished. A case that caused many women to lose faith in love. In order to ensure his wife would die completely, he deliberately caused 2 major car accidents, even turning himself into a victim, with his intestines broken in 3 places. After his wife's death, he underwent 10 surgeries and became disabled. Just when everyone was mourning this tragedy, a huge insurance policy totaling 29 million yuan was found, turning a natural disaster into a man-made calamity, and the perfectly planned crime collapsed on its own. So, why did he risk his own life? Was it just because his wife died? How was this seemingly perfect crime uncovered? Today, we tell the story of the deadly insurance policy. Around 7 p.m. on January 27, 2018, a Toyota Highlander was involved in a serious car accident at a roundabout in Guta District, Jinzhou, Liaoning, a scene too tragic to behold. After arrival at the scene, with police officers and firefighters helping, the car door was finally opened. Inside were a married couple, the husband severely injured in the driver's seat, holding a blood-stained pillow. The wife had been seated in the back seat, and because she was not wearing a seatbelt, she was thrown forward by the impact and was declared dead after on-site rescue efforts. Due to severe injuries, the husband was rushed by ambulance to the IU for treatment, while the traffic police remained to investigate the scene. The cause of the accident, at the time of the crash, showed no other vehicles or pedestrians present, and the car almost hit the curb vertically, so the traffic police concluded it was a single vehicle accident. The driver's name was Zhou Jin, aged 49 at the time, from Jinzhou, Liaoning. His wife named Yang Kun, aged 43, from Beijing. After the incident, the police quickly contacted the families on both sides, learning that they originally went to Jinzhou to visit Zhou Jin's parents. This incident happened only on the way back to Beijing, and with further investigation, the police found many suspicious points. Firstly, during the rescue, a strong smell of alcohol was detected inside the car, but the bottle was unbroken, and it was capped. Moreover, no alcohol was detected in Zhou Jin's body, so how can this smell of alcohol be explained? In addition, there was no surveillance at the accident site, but after multiple recalculations by the police, it was found that when the vehicle hit the wall, the speed was at least 80 kilometers per hour. Keep in mind, the accident happened at a roundabout, and the traffic police later brought the same model of Highlander, conducted hundreds to thousands of tests, and simulated in 3 intersections, all confirming that reaching this speed under normal driving was impossible. So given this, there is only one possibility, which is that before the collision, someone artificially accelerated the vehicle. After this, the police conducted a further search of the accident vehicle and found many puzzling points. In fact, when Zhou Jin was rescued, he was holding a thick cushion. Second, Zhou Jin's height is only 1 meter 69 centimeters, yet the car seat was adjusted very far back, making driving uncomfortable for him at that distance. Third, at that time, the temperature in Jinzhou dropped to minus 20 degrees Celsius, and Zhou Jin was wearing a down jacket during the incident. But in contrast, Yang Kun was wearing only a thin layer of underwear and wasn't wearing shoes. These 3 points are very unusual. Yet coincidentally, these 3 factors could have provided cushioning for Zhou Jin in the front seat during the crash. Zhou Jin's actions here seem as if he anticipated the accident in advance, or that the accident was orchestrated by him, which is chilling to consider. Unfortunately, Zhou Jin's car was not equipped with a dash cam, and at that time he was receiving treatment in the hospital, making it difficult for him to communicate properly with the police. Therefore, the precise circumstances before the accident could only be roughly inferred and guessed by the traffic police. To better understand the cause of the accident, the police retrieved all photos captured by the surveillance cameras of Zhou Jin's vehicle on that day, a total of 53 pictures. The footage shows, from around 9 in the morning until 12 noon that day, The vehicle repeatedly appeared near Zhou Jin's parents' home, with Yang Kun sitting continuously in the front passenger seat. He appeared to be in good condition. Around 1 in the afternoon, the vehicle left the city, and the couple was likely on their way back to Beijing. At 5 in the afternoon, the vehicle appeared on the highway heading to Beijing, but Yang Kun was no longer in the front passenger seat. Instead, he was lying across the back seat. At 5:18, the vehicle appeared at Jinzhou Taishan service area, where Zhou Jin got out alone to eat. A few minutes later, she returned to the vehicle. After leaving the service area, for unknown reasons, the vehicle exited the highway and turned back into Jinzhou territory. Around 8 in the evening, the vehicle was captured by cameras in Jinzhou. At that time, Yang Kun was still lying in the back seat, and for the next 2 hours, it is unknown where Zhou Jin drove to. The strange driving route before the accident happened at 10 in the evening cast a mysterious shadow over the car crash. But at this time, Yang Kun's family reached out to the police. They hoped to resolve the matter quickly, so their daughter could rest in peace. The traffic police found suspicious points, but had no substantial evidence, so they could only handle Yang Kun's affairs according to the family's wishes. According to regulations, Yang Kun's family needed to provide household registration books and related documents. While his family went to the couple's home to find the documents, they unexpectedly found a suitcase about 20 inches in size, stuffed full of insurance policies, 30 in total, with the couple as mutual beneficiaries, meaning if one party died, the other would receive over 29 million yuan compensation. This discovery made the traffic police and Yang Kun's family realize the seriousness of the matter. Soon, they began questioning Zhou Jin, who was already conscious in the hospital. Zhou Jin said, that night, he returned to Jinzhou because he remembered something he needed to tell his sister. That is why he went back to Jinzhou. At that time, his sister had not finished work yet, so he parked the car by the roadside and took a nap. He woke up at about 10 o'clock. Later, while driving, he arrived at the roundabout where the accident happened. The Toyota Highlander has a spacious interior and is very comfortable. Sleeping inside the car really is a good choice. As for why the accident happened, Zhou Jin explained that his wife spilled hot water from a thermos onto her leg, which scared him, and that's why he accidentally pressed the accelerator. Although the police did find 2 thermos cups inside the car, both cups had their lids on, and there was no sign of spilled water. Obviously, Zhou Jin lied. Soon, Yang Kun's autopsy report was released, which showed he had severe skull injuries. All the ribs on his right chest were fractured, and a segment of his thoracic vertebra was completely damaged. Although the cause of death was consistent with a traffic accident, from the external body examination, Yang Kun showed no signs of active emergency evasive actions before death, or any behavior to protect himself. In other words, at the time of the incident, he was very likely unconscious or not fully aware. After that, the forensic doctor detected 2 kinds of sedative drugs in Yang Kun's body, which can cause drowsiness or unconsciousness. This confirmed that Yang Kun was indeed unconscious at the time of the accident. For a moment, the nature of the incident became increasingly serious, and the traffic police handed over the case to the Criminal Investigation Department to investigate the truth behind the case. In the materials, the traffic police mentioned a very important detail, which is that the vehicle contained an airbag control module, similar to the black box found in airplanes. In this module, it can record the car's speed and engines, revolutions at the time of the incident. But, due to limited technology, the information had to be read by a specialized department out of town. So, the police sent the black box to a research institute in Wuxi, awaiting test results. At the time of the incident, Zhou Jin and Yang Kun had been married for just over 2 years, and Zhou Jin had a daughter from his previous marriage studying in Beijing. Although they were a remarried couple, Yang Kun's family said they were very satisfied with their son-in-law. Since the two married in 2015, Zhou Jin asked his wife to quit her job, to stay at home and rest, and frequently took her on trips. visiting more than 10 countries in Europe first, then later the United States. In the eyes of the family, Zhou Jin was wealthy, gentle, and considerate, but Yang Kun was somewhat hot-tempered. His mood fluctuated a lot on a daily basis, but whenever he lost his temper, Zhou Jin just smiled and comforted him quietly, and the two rarely argued. Yang Kun had suffered from epilepsy, but since having a child with her previous husband, she had no further seizures. Yang Kun's sister stated she was very envious of her sister's life, loved and financially comfortable. But was that really the case? The police further investigated Zhou Jin's financial status and found all his accounts had been emptied, and his stock account showed a loss of 3 million yuan. In the 1990s, Zhou Jin came to Beijing from Jinzhou to work hard, and he had indeed earned some money running a restaurant and doing business. But later, with the restaurant business failing and the stock market downturn, he fell into financial difficulties for a time. At the time, Zhou Jin married Yang Kun. His financial situation was already poor. The reason he could take his wife on trips around the world was only because he was juggling debts, trying to maintain the image of a wealthy man through various loans. Furthermore, Zhou Jin owned no property in either Beijing or Jinzhou. The couple's wedding home was purchased with the proceeds from Yang Kun's parents selling their old house. Zhou Jin and his ex-wife's daughter attended a private school in Beijing. The annual tuition fee was 150,000 yuan. Starting from the year 2016, he began purchasing insurance for Yang Kun. By the year 2017, the total annual insurance premiums had reached 180,000 yuan. As the investigation deepened, the police discovered a thick stack of letters in Zhou Jin's home, worth 72 billion yuan. The earliest letter was written starting in the year 2013, and the contents of these letters were chilling upon closer thought. These letters were written by Zhou Jin to his ex-wife, Yingzi, expressing deep longing and affection for Yingzi between the lines. He also wrote, "For the sake of the child, for the sake of this family, I can sacrifice things most people cannot, and a temporary separation is for a better new beginning ahead." These words, however, for some unknown reason, these letters were never sent. Judging from the exorbitant insurance premiums and these letters, perhaps it was all premeditated. From the moment Yang Kun married him, it had already been part of his plan. After a long wait, the vehicle's black box data was finally analyzed. The report showed that in the 5 seconds before the accident, the speed and engine RPM were continuously increasing. In other words, until the vehicle hit the wall, Zhou Jin's foot never left the accelerator. In the year 2019, after undergoing 10 surgeries, Zhou Jin finally got out of the hospital bed, only to face the cold interrogation room. On Zhou Jin's phone, the police found a contact named Little Playful Girl. In the year 2017, Zhou Jin bought sedatives from this person for 530 yuan. Later, it was confirmed that these drugs matched those found in Yang Kun's body. And when mentioning the coma, Yang Kun's family recalled a detail, which was that before this accident, the couple had already been involved in a car accident once before. That time, Yang Kun only suffered a scratch at the corner of his eye. But what was strange, after the car accident, he was unconscious for more than 3 hours before waking up. This phenomenon caught the attention of the doctors at the time. But because Yang Kun was not seriously injured, they quickly spoke to the Yan family, praising Zhou Jin for protecting Yang Kun well. Faced with abundant evidence during the interrogation, Zhou Jin no longer denied his involvement inside. He confessed in detail that starting from 2016, he had bought large insurance policies and purchased sedatives, and twice drugged Yang Kun to cause car accidents. He also admitted that everything he did was to fraudulently claim an insurance payout of over 29 million. For that money, to make it appear as an accident, Zhou Jin even crashed himself to become paralyzed on one side, which shows how ruthless and unscrupulous he was. In the end, in 2021, the Jinzhou Intermediate People's Court tried Zhou Jin, sentencing him to death for intentional homicide and insurance fraud. Afterwards, Zhou Jin appealed the verdict, and the trial is still ongoing. For a ruthless person like this, we believe the law will ensure he receives the punishment he deserves.